podcast dedicated to the lore, legends, and myths surrounding the creatures that may lurk in your backyard. My name's Hewitt.
I'm Chris. Anyway, how you doing, man?
I got stuck in an elevator for an hour today. And nobody on Discord responded to see if I was okay.
Oh, yeah. I saw that and I was like, he'll be okay. And then, I was, doing laundry. It's like, what if the elevator falls? It's like, yeah, he'll be fine.
Well, the thing I was really tempted to do is post the picture of the door that I sent Emily when I first told her that I was stuck in there. And then post it around 3. Hey, guys, I'm still in the elevator.
Just continue going.
Just to fuck with y'all. But no, it wasn't that bad. What happened is the doors, it was at Grace Episcopal, because my son's school is going to rent the top floor and turn it into 4th and 6th grade. They would have moved 5th over there, but one of the classes, not my son's, has some runners. And so they don't want to deal with having to cross the street for lunch.
Okay.
So, because the bottom floor over at Grace is still their
when you said runners, I was like, oh, are these kids running off campus? And
well,
that's what I did once.
If they were to get outside, they would just start running. And when you got 8 of them that you're responsible for it, if you're the only one out there, you're having to all right, everybody run with me. But it's the bottom floor is still going to be the bed babies and P3 that they do over at Grace. But so we were trying to move furniture down. So I went in after the janitor put a trash can in there, but that black bit that's in the middle of the doors, they didn't have that. So both the doors were closing at different rates.
Oh, cool.
And the inner door jammed. So then I was just stuck in there for an hour till the firemen came and they're like, sir, you need to remain calm. I'm calm.
I'm good.
They looked at me. You're not upset? No. Well, please keep your limbs inside the elevator. I understand this thing could drop, and if my hand was over there, I'm going to lose my hand. They're like, what do you mean? I've watched Final Destination. I know. I've watched movies. I know what happens if you're partway out of an elevator and it drops because of how heavy they are.
I probably would be panicking a little bit because I get claustrophobic.
And they're like, but sir, are you sure you're good? There's AC, the lights are on, the emergency brake is engaged.
Listening to your favorite music.
I'm in here reading a civics textbook from 8 years ago because I'm bored. Y'all just do y'all. I mean, I helped them get the door open on the outside because I could reach it. I can't reach the latch on this one and have no clue where it is because I see gray. Yeah. And they're like, okay. So then I get out and I went right back to doing stuff. And the deacon of the church and the principal of the school are like, are you fine? Yeah. It just sucks we can't use the elevator now. And so I'm really tired because I've carried desks and trash and
how many
chairs.
Stories?
It's 2, but I have 8,000 steps that I got while I was there. 7 of those are in the stairwell by itself.
Hey, that's some good exercise there.
My thighs hate me.
But, they'll be looking good.
Maybe. Right now, they're letting me know I'm 40. I'm 41. But
yeah. You're trying to make yourself younger.
Yeah, I am totally. One of them 85 babies. But no, it's one of those did that this morning. Came home, took a nap.
Yeah, all I did today was just study and cleaned up.
Yeah. We did play Draw Steel.
Oh, yeah, we did play Draw Steel. That was fun.
It is. I like it because it's a different enough system, but still kind of has the same... It's in the same genre, so it's like when you listen to a different song or a different band, but they're in the same genre. I like it. And I'm really glad, because some people, I was looking at reviews online, they said it was crunchy, and I'm like, maybe because we only did the first encounter, but looking at it in a little bit of reading I've done, it's not crunchy.
It doesn't seem that crunchy to me.
No, we also remember 3.5, Pathfinder 1. I remember 2.0.
Exalted.
Yeah. So, I
don't know if I would call Exalted, crunchy in the traditional sense, but it can get...
That's just a lot of addition. Really, Exalted is nothing but,
math game.
Exponential addition.
I guess Cruncher would be like Shadowrun, where fifth
or
edition,
or GURPS,
our GURPS where it's like you're actually doing like pre-algebra to algebra to create a character.
I mean, like if all you ever played is stuff like Powered by the Apocalypse systems or 5e, or even like to a degree Blades in the Dark, the rule light systems, this could seem crunchy if you've never.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at it and it's not really crunchy. What you're doing is keeping up with resources, because like you build resources by having more successes. You then can spend them or rely on passive abilities to run while it's going. And like looking at the character sheet I played, my whole thing would be, I really don't need to be spending a whole lot of my points because my passive stuff gets to be pretty redonk. Like,
well, the character I played, which was the talent, it's they're not 1-to-1 classes, but
similar to a psionist.
Yeah, it's like a psionic character, and
seemed also kind of like some of it looked a little bit more like the witch from 2E Pathfinder.
Yeah, a little bit, but like the character itself is like, yeah, you have your like mind abilities where you can like spike people's minds or like do telekinesis, things like that, but it's a lot of like, it seems like a lot of the abilities are meant to like help other people.
And I'm going to talk to Knox about this, about having, like, I mean, the problem is he also runs a home game down there of it. I really would like him to run one for us online.
That would be cool. I mean, there's a lot of games people should be running right now. I'm not going to say any names. I just want to play as a fuzzy. My wife needs to fuzzy bunny.
My wife needs to set up the root game so I can play my anxiety pill known as Biloxi Bill the Armadillo.
I just want to play a Chaos Incarnate character because I think I made what is it called? It's not a ruffian. It's the class where it's like you're just complete chaos. I forget the name of it.
I don't know. I might have played that in the game that Emily ran 2 years ago on Extra Life.
Yeah.
Because I had to just grab a class when it was left. But I'm going to play Thief. I'm going to play, because the reason I'm going to do this is because I'm going to be watching the baby.
We've been doing a lot of like outside of just like the general fuckery of this year. Like I've been looking at Exalted again, specifically 3E, because I was just curious and I just started reading it. And then you know what happens when you start reading something and you just
you want to play it, like,
and then you start coming up with hooks and you're like, fuck.
But yeah, let's actually. The reason I was going to say to run second edition is we already have the books, and I was going to try to get it on our Sunday crew because
like pop it in on them,
put it in the cycle we do on Sundays, because just the number of other days we have stuff going on. Like this is Saturdays when we record. Sundays we do RPG. If we get Emily's game going, that's either going to be a Monday or a Wednesday based on people's schedules.
Yeah.
So that's 3 days of us doing stuff. And then like next Friday is Brouhaha.
Yeah.
Which you need to show up.
I forgot to even talk. I'll see what I can do.
You literally don't need to buy anything because it's all the beer that's been left in my fridge. We were going to do it in January. Yeah, I see your face. I fully understand that face.
Well, next Friday is still January.
Sorry, it's December. I was going to try to do it before Christmas.
But, I know that like this January has felt very
long. It's been
a
whole fucking year. But no, and then Emily's got some weird snacks, and I've got some hot sauces that I think are going to be good. Like I got a green.
You're a hot sauce.
I got a green onion mushroom hot sauce.
Oh, that sounds good.
And Danny Trejo's hot sauce. And so his hot honey's good. So I have some faith. So like if you have a hot sauce you want to bring and make wings with,
I mean, I'll do that. I got a bunch of hot sauces.
We all, to the gentle listener at home, before we get into the actual Supernatural podcast, we could probably have an entire podcast just talking about flavors of hot sauces. Yeah. Because for the last 4 years, you've actually gotten me into hot sauces by introducing me to stuff that tastes good and not just hateful.
Well, I think I'm one of the few people in our groups that I like like Red Dot and Crystal and Tabasco and everything. Basic hot sauces like that. No one here likes that. And most of the time people are like, yeah, I don't like hot sauce, and they think of that.
Well, I mean, Emily gets Frank's because she's from up north and that's what they like. But before we actually get into it, let's just kind of like do a speed run of some games opinions. Like, we got 5e. Perfectly fine. Everybody's getting kind of tired of it because we've done it a lot.
Yeah, I think, like, at this point, like, I like TTRPGs, but the constant playing of 5e, which I understand why. It's an easy go-to game.
Well, I mean, also, we've been running games in that system. So, like, when Darrowan comes back, we've been running it in 5e.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want to switch to something, we just gotta...
make people mad, go to fucking Pathfinder.
Okay, it's talking about Pathfinder. You keep telling me and telling people I hate Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I don't. My opinion of it is I don't like the secret roles. That's a personal thing. And you've done them. One other person I played with it has done it. And then John didn't do the secret roles at all.
It's all relative.
I didn't, like I said, it's just, I didn't care for that. And also... like, people say 5e is limiting. I can understand that, but also we have fudged around and played with 5e's rules so many times that we've pretty much homebrewed a whole bunch of the crap we use. So I can understand people feeling it's a little bit limiting, but depending on your roles in Pathfinder and depending on what you pick, it can be kind of limiting based on the class you have. Like, I haven't played the magic classes yet, which I'm seeing like there's a whole lot more versatility. But in the fighter and the ranger, unless you have certain stats, you're gonna kind of get funneled down a pipeline on your abilities.
I'm kind of a two ways in that, because I think that, like, you would be right in the sense that the classes are very defined in what they do. Like, if you get a spellcaster, they're not like there isn't like the heavy hitter spellcaster versus like the technical spellcasters. They're all fairly technical spellcasters, and some do something a little bit better than others.
Inside ropes.
Yeah. Or if you're playing a fighter, you might be playing a different type of fighter from someone else, but you're still you have a very specific role within that. But when the versatility comes out, is how you can build that and how you can interact with the mechanics, which I think, like, I haven't played 2024 version of 5e.
I haven't done 2024 Dungeons and Dragons. I know they fixed nets, but I also haven't played the new version of 2nd Edition Pathfinder.
I mean, the thing is, it's like, I think it just comes down to like if you want like depth and character building, you would probably play 2nd Edition. But if you want something that's straightforward, and you can be a little bit loosey-goosey with it.
That's going to be Dungeons. I'm not saying that Dungeons and Dragons is better than Pathfinder 2e. What I'm saying is that
He's saying that. No, I'm kidding.
No, what I'm saying is that when we first started doing it, and it's why I even asked, are we going to play this again? Because I did enjoy the game and I did enjoy the character, especially being a higher level and having actual abilities
right
with my ranger. Is that I was sold on it, that it was way more customizable, way more open. And I was like, in theory, yes, but based on your stats, you may very much have to go one way. Or if you want to try to cover a bunch of different stuff, you'll be okay at a bunch of things, but you won't be good at anything.
I will say,
and
like,
that's not a problem. That's not a bug. It's a good feature. But the way that y'all tried to sell me the game and the very first experience I had playing it were very different. Then again, our first version of Pathfinder did not go great.
It didn't go great.
But the thing...
I mean, the thing is, it's like...
I want to play it more because it is fun.
And I've been playing it now for a couple of years because I have a Wednesday game online with some friends that started as Abomination Vaults, but they didn't really like Abomination Vaults. I was getting tired of it. It's one of those games where if you like strictly dungeon running, Abomination Vaults is great. But like especially with how it's presented on Foundry VTT, there's a lot of I go to the door, I listen,
the door.
I unlock the door, I look in the room.
It's a turlet.
There's nothing in here. Go to another door.
That sounds like 8 of the levels of the Dungeon of the Mad Mage 2.
Yeah.
Now, Monster of the Week we've played so many times. I still love it because when we need a quick throw something down game.
Yeah. I mean, I love Monster of the Week. My biggest problem with playing Monster of the Week is that we almost never have any more cohesion, like in terms of like
it's
characters.
It's always we have not run a campaign in it. It's always a thrown together.
Which, to be clear, Monster of the Week isn't always technical. Like, it's not like a campaign game.
But to be fair, when we did Whitewater, that was a lot of fun because we built characters, we established how everybody knew each other, and everybody was connected. Yeah. But a lot of the other games have just been, okay,
make a character, we're going to throw you in. Like the last time I played, I just made a drunk.
You showed up, and you're like, I'm mad. You want to throw magic at people? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a spell slinger. I'm a drunk spell. But, like, that's the thing I do. Like, I get that it's episodic, and I like that point. Like,
but
the way I would like to play, the way I was going to play until the game fell apart with Incognita, which was my setting, was that it was going to be episodic, but it was going to be building towards.
Yeah.
And those were the funnest games. Like, I think we had a lot of really cool.
I do enjoy those. Now, other games that we need to play, whenever it gets to my follow-up to Tears of Kairos, instead of doing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, you want to play.
I want to do Crescendo of Violence.
And I'll probably jump in on that because I want to play that.
Because I want us to figure that one out. I also got Cairn and the White Box, which are 2 very small, old-school style short adventures. But then we also got Morgborg, which you can see it right behind you. It's neon yellow, and just look at the cover art on it. Like, it is. It's pretty.
Cool. And it's like demonic. It's like a death metal album.
Yeah, it's very much the artwork that your parents would have seen, and that's what they would have thought D&D in the 80s was.
Yeah. No, like, those are games I would like to play. Like, again,
also Blades in the Dark, more Scum and Villainy would be good.
Well, the thing is, it's like we're at a point where we've played a lot of D&D. And no shade to D&D, but
we've kind of tried all the flavors.
Yeah, and like even with coming back to Darwin, I'm like,
we just switch it to Pathfinder.
I would have to ask.
Well, just put it out there in the chat, like, and then we can do something else after Spencer's game, and that gives you more time to prep and plan.
Yeah,
because I mean, yeah. Now, on that note, and after being complete note,
wait, I gotta talk about what I would like.
Oh, Exalted.
I would like to one day play like Cyberpunk or Shadowrun, but like I understand.
I'd much rather hit Cyberpunk because it's newer. Because if Shadowrun is like how I remember it,
well, they have new versions, and the problem is new versions are still kind of.
I mean, it's not, dude. It's not GURPS.
You know, it's not GURPS, but
it's not the old Dragon Ball Z RPG.
There were so many, like,
dude. It was.
If anyone is listening to this podcast that is like in their early 20s and getting into like D&D and TTRPGs, they used to have just a bunch of like
the late 90s. There was a Mutant League RPG for a while.
That's great. No, I just remember like all of the D20 versions of just everything.
I do miss D20 Modern sometimes.
Yeah, D20. We played D20 Modern for like 5 years.
We played that for a minute. Hey, but you want to know what also has been around for a minute?
Things.
Waverly Hill Sanitarium.
Oh, we're talking about Waverly Hills.
Yep.
Huh? We're in the. That's gonna be a segue song thing. Because we went from TTRPGs to talking about one of the most popular haunted places that apparently has a fucking that's just like a haunted house attraction now.
Part of the year. So
I mean that was the jail too.
Yeah. I mean which you still need to edit that episode in the car.
I need to go through all of that. I just been busy.
You have been. I'll be honest, I've watched all the videos. I'll see if you can find it, but you can tell the moment when Jed farted. You don't get the audio. There's no but there's just there's a pause, and then Jed looks over his shoulder and looks back the other way and keeps going, and I'm like, now here's the thing that's really bad is if they allowed us to stay the night, I would have slept in the freaking tunnel.
Yeah.
Got good sleep underground.
It been a little bit moist though. Moist.
Ew. Anyway, so Waverly Hills Sanitarium is located at 4400 Paralee Drive, Louisville, Kentucky, 402722692. It's got a dash because it used to have its own zip code.
Right.
The original building was built in 1910, and it was a open air 2-story building meant to house up to 50 patients. So they would have them there, and they could open up the windows fully or push them out onto porches so they could convalesce in the fresh air.
Right, because that's what they thought helped with the White Death.
Yes. Which we will get to that in a minute. I gave it its own section in here.
White Death means tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis.
Yeah.
Now, in 1914, a children's pavilion was built on the site to house the children of the patients. Now, this could hold up to 50 people. Now, the thing is that the children in the housing thing were not necessarily children who had the disease. They were the children of people who both parents had the disease. So mom and dad were in the wards, and the kids were in the kids' pavilion, basically in a boarding school.
Okay, so they go to school while their parents are dying of TB.
Yeah.
That's depressing.
Now, the site.
But it's good. Yeah. In the sense that it's hey, we're gonna offer.
We're not gonna send you to go live with your weird fucking aunt and uncle.
Yeah, we're gonna. You get to live here with all the.
Do you want to have
patients.
a whole bunch? Do you want to have a bunch of semi brothers and sisters?
You want some uncles that may or may not be here the next day?
We're making this even worse. The site eventually grew to hold 130 patients. There were buildings for men and women, pavilions for them, because they kept everybody separated by biological sex, that nobody with TB got up to no hanky panky.
I don't imagine it, depending on how severe you have it.
Dude, nursing homes, man, are the highest contraction point for STDs in the city.
Well, that in a city or the city?
In our city, yes.
In our, I believe it in our city.
And most cities, old folks' homes, have huge outbreaks of STDs because, especially when Viagra got invented.
Well, you're almost dead.
Time to get some syphilis.
You might as well go whole hog, smoke a cigarette, and break a hip.
Now, in 1926, it was replaced by the current 5-story Tudor Revival / Tudor Gothic style building that has become the iconic visage of the site.
So the original building didn't have the Gothic.
No, it was a 2-story wooden building.
Okay, is that still around, or did they knock it down?
Portions.
Okay.
The new building could hold up to 400 patients, was 180,000 square feet. Now, the Tudor Revival style was mostly used for hotels, railway stations, other large public buildings, so the hospital pretty much was just a great spot to use this style. It was popular in the late 18 and early 1900s. The main elements include steepled roofs, half-timber exposed beams on houses that used it, and multiple casement windows. Stone or faux stone work / masonry work along the first floor with stones or masonry adornment. So, if you've ever seen a building where all of a sudden the brick pattern changes and there's a diamond that the bricks are slightly different in, that comes from that Tudor style. Or, you'll have one color of brick that makes, the edges, right, and then the middle has a different color. So, there's ornamental stonework. Now, Waverly Hills doesn't have the exposed beams, but the brickwork of the upper floors is very similar in its pattern to what a Tudor home would look like.
Right.
If you go through the Garden District, there's 3 Tudor style homes down 6th Street.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Like big, it's white stucco walls with the big brown beams.
Yeah,
and the bottom floor is brick.
They got the big stairs and everything.
There's ornamental parapets like a castle on portions of it. Overhangs from the second floor to make a gable at the front entrance. Now, it used marble and mahogany to construct the new building. So a lot of the furniture was mahogany. And the floors were not shitty white marble, but Venetian marble. I don't know. The Venetian marble that was in there was a different color. It could be white, but it was kind of a cream, like a coffee cream color.
I wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Oh, no. It's like the really crappy upgrades that have been made to the White House with all the white marble and gold embellishments that make it look 1980s cheep.
You mean like the Home Depot shit?
Yeah,
they painted gold and then slapped up.
Yeah, but when they redid the Lincoln bathroom, they did it in white marble, like white marble with black elements in it, like the flecking.
Right.
And I've never liked that. Not just because of who it's associated with, but it always made me think this is what you think fancy's supposed to be, and it just ends up looking
gaudy, trashy.
I was going to say cheap.
Terrible.
I was going to say cheap. It's not. It wasn't cheap, but it ends up looking cheap. But they have the marble here is more of like a cream color. Now, that could also be because it's older now and it's patinaed, or I shouldn't say patinaed, but it's been
oxidized
or stained. I didn't see any colored pictures of it from when it first got built.
I don't think I've ever seen a picture of that building.
I've seen plenty that are modern, but like we're going to get into more of its history on that one. It gave off a grandiose and intimidating visage because it was also atop the hill. And a lot of times people referred to folks going to the hill when they got TB.
I mean, you could almost... It's like a perfect setting in a horror... I mean, there's horror movies, House on Haunted Hill, which is...
Well, I mean, also, like, if you look at a Google
Haunting of Hill House.
If you look at Google Maps today, like, it's not far out of Louisville, but when it was built, it was not in the city. Like, it was...
But, I mean, it was built on the hill for a specific reason, for open air, right?
For open air, but also, I mean, it was outside of town, and you could still see it, depending on where from the city you were looking. Like...
So you could see this TB
big,
house.
You could see a big, huge building on top of a hill from the edge of town. It would be very creepy. Now, they had open air porches that allow patients to get as much clean air as possible. The buildings were segregated by patient by sex and severity and contagion level. So if you had a mild case, one wing would be men, one wing would be women, and the higher up you went, the more severe.
Okay, so like bottom is kind of like I'm feeling kind of sick. Top shelf is like
like second floor is like the less contagious patients. The top floor, rough. Now the top floor, the roof had a playground for the children to play on.
That seems dangerous.
Yeah, they decided. Well, dude, they built in the 1920s. Kids are going to think it's dope to put a jungle gym up on top of a 5-story building.
Did they have a jungle gym up there?
I'd have to go back and look. I'm just making a joke. But the kids played on the roof.
I mean, I figure. I mean, just even throwing a ball would probably lead to a kid accidentally, taking a tumble.
Yeah,
I don't want to think about that. Actually,
they had a movie theater and a library.
Oh, that's cool.
They raised their own livestock and crops on site. They were pretty much self-contained. Had their own post office and their own zip code. That is how many people were there at the time and how important Waverly Hills was at peak operation. Now, they added the body chute and tunnels to allow staff, patients, and the deceased to be moved easily during the winter. And also, so that nobody saw a whole bunch of dead bodies going out the front door.
Right. Because this is before we effectively knew how to treat TB. So most people just went there to die, likely.
Well, some people went there to die, but you could get better due to some treatments. Like some things did seem to have an effect. Now, also the first floor of the building was the morgue, the offices, and a couple of the operating theaters. Now let's get in, that's the building itself, so let's get into the history. Now, the land that became Waverly Hills was purchased in 1883 by Major Thomas H. Hayes for his family. It was out of town, so the major opened his own school for his daughters and hired Lizzie Lee Harris to teach. Now, she was a big fan of the Waverly novels by Walter Scott, so the major named it Waverly Hills because he's like, it sounds peaceful. I like this. Now, the Board of Tuberculosis kept the name when they later bought the property. However, they changed the spelling of Waverly, which had an extra E in it for the Walter Scott books, and dropped that second E when it became Waverly Hills Sanitarium. Why? No clue. I could not find any information why.
I mean, I can only guess it's because
a typo,
or it's like, it doesn't look right. Let's take that E out.
Maybe E's were more expensive than other letters to get carved.
Yeah. Or maybe that just in general, they're like, let's just shorten it a little bit.
Now, the ground was broken for the original sanitarium in 1910, and the first patients arrived by 1912. The need for the building was due to a massive spike in the number of cases due to the low marshy land along the Ohio River and around Louisville being the perfect breeding ground for the bacteria that causes tuberculosis. So, that low, swampy, nasty area is what gave or caused the need to build a sanitarium.
So the area surrounding the sanitarium was pretty much prime.
Well, anything along the Ohio River, I mean, just like down here, near the Mississippi River is low and marshy on the Louisiana side.
Right.
Now, when they were also building a new city hospital at the same time, and it was not going to make room for patients because of the contagious nature of the disease. So when they were building the new one, it's like, we are not putting a lunger ward in here. We are not going to do no TB. So they're like, well, now we need to find a place to send all the
TB patients.
The original building was divided by gender and had open-air pavilions around it, like I said earlier.
I don't think I could blame them too much for that.
No, because if you don't have much like today, hospitals very rarely actually have full funding.
Yeah.
Because we're more worried about returning money to investors than,
helping
people. Now, with it, like I said, it was divided by gender, open air, because it was believed that clean air would alleviate the pain of the disease. So getting away from the miasma, getting away from all that dirty air in the cities, supposedly they thought this good air would help clean you out.
That's why Doc Holliday went to...
Well, he went up to, I think it was either Denver or went up to Colorado.
Yeah, because it was supposed to help.
Now, the budget for the first building was $25,000 or $835,366 today. So not quite the equivalent of $1 million. Now, the wooden building needed constant repairs, was not large enough for the growing number of patients, so in 1923, ground was broken on the current main building, and it opened in 26 and was capable of holding 400 patients.
So they were like, oh, fuck.
Now, white patients were kept in the new building, while black patients were kept in the old facility.
Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. Always the racism.
Got to find the segregation.
I guess they're at least helping the black patients.
Yes.
Quote unquote.
But the thing is that I did not find this on any of the very big sources for this, like their webpage for the sanitarium itself. No. I had to find this in an old newspaper article.
I mean, when we went to DeRitter for the jail, I forget what do they like to call it? They don't like the hanging jail.
The Gothic prison or the Gothic jail.
Even they were like, yeah, this side was to segregate the two different people, white
races.
Two different races. And it's like, oh yeah. I mean, at least, I guess, that's Kentucky, too, so
Kentucky is technically the South.
Yeah.
Now, staff had to live on campus and rarely got to leave to reduce contagion chances with the town below. So life was incredibly isolated for both the patients, family that lived on site, and the staff. They lived there, and very rarely did they get to leave.
So, wait, so the staff, they didn't just go up and come back.
No, they stayed. They lived on site.
I mean, I guess that makes sense if it's TB. Like, if you're always around people with TB, you don't want to be...
Yeah, because, I mean, you could cause an outbreak. Now, like I mentioned before, they had all the open-air porches, and they would push patients out onto it any time of year. So there's pictures online of people wrapped up in blankets in either on lounge chairs or in hospital beds, like completely covered in blankets with snow on them so they could get as much clean air as possible.
That sounds like hell. Like
it's not great in my opinion. However, they also did heliotherapy.
Oh, is that just
on
basking in the sun?
Yeah, on the roof, in the belief that sunlight could cure the disease. They also did what's called an artificial pneumothorax or therapeutic pneumothorax, where they would try to cure the disease. The procedure involved intentionally partially collapsing a lung to allow it to rest. So they wouldn't collapse your whole lung.
No.
But they did this by shoving air into the body cavity and forcing a partial collapse of your lung right there, because if you're not having to breathe with that part of the lung, it could rest and heal.
That's not I don't think that's how it works. I mean, hindsight 2020 and all.
They also had lobectomies, which they removed lymph nodes from around the lungs. They had pneumectomy, which is a partial or full lung removal. Thoracoplasty, which involved removing 7 to 8 ribs, which then would be believed to allow the lung to expand better and be able to inhale more air and heal. Electroshock therapy was used.
Of course. You can't go wrong with a little electroshock therapy. You just, get in there. It's like, oh, you got some tuberculosis. Zippity zap. Then they're just flapping around because the muscles tense up.
Yeah. So procedures didn't really cure patients.
No,
and it's officially there was around maybe 600 deaths, but stories say there was up to 6,000. The reason that 6,000 doesn't make sense is
it's a small area. I would assume.
Hold on. 60,000. The problem is that there was never 60,000 patients in the entire, like, if 60,000 patients died at Waverly Hills, they did not keep records because
that's a lot of patients.
They didn't have 60,000 patients in the entire time.
60,000 is like a decent sized city.
Well, think if they can hold 400 patients, and let's say they lost every 6 months, they lost 400 patients. So that's 800 a year, and it operated for about 20 years. That's not even then, that's not going to be.
Yeah.
Also, pretty sure they would have been investigated. So there's anywhere between 600 and 60,000 deaths on.
I would believe it had a lot of deaths just because of, like, jokes aside.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be saying 600. I should be saying 6,000.
Okay. I can see a lot of deaths happening even in the context of the time, because we didn't know much about the disease, as you just went over.
Yeah.
And also, like, most of the time people got TB and it was terminal.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of when, not if, they would die from the disease.
Now, with this also, it was about 33% casualty rates at the peak of the infection and the outbreak. So when it peaked, 1/3 of all patients in the hospital would die.
So it would just wipe out like an entire ward, essentially.
Pretty much, like just saying the number of people that are coming in with terminal cases. Now, in 1943, an antibiotic called streptomycin was developed to effectively treat TB. This dramatically reduced the number of cases and eventually led to Waverly Hills to close in 1961, with its remaining patients moving to Hazelhurst Sanitarium. If that doesn't sound haunted as well.
Like, that sounds like the type of place in a horror movie that, like, you would have, like, Mike Myers or some shit in there.
Now, I was off on 20 years. It saw 50,000 patients in 50 years. So, like, the number of 60,000 patients, they never even had 60,000 patients. Now, in 1962, the year after it closed, it would reopen as Woodhaven Geriatric Center.
So it just turned into a nursing home. Okay.
It primarily housed patients with dementia, mental disabilities, and mobility issues. So it was a special kind of nursing home. In 1982, it was permanently closed by the state for patient abuse.
Uh-huh.
They were still using shock therapy and had massive pest problems to where patients were getting infections from getting bitten by roaches.
So wait.
Bedridden patients would get covered in roaches and get bitten.
And
get infections.
They were using shock therapy in the 80s.
Uh-huh.
Like, shock therapy was banned in the 60s, wasn't it?
Depends on the state, I think.
Depends on the state, but it's like when people talk about, like, lobotomy, people think it's, like, this big time in our history, but really, like, it was only officially practiced for, like, a very short time before we were like, hey, this isn't working.
Well, I mean, also, it's stop and think about civil rights. Civil rights was about 15, 16 years before me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, the civil rights were in the 60s. I was born in 84. So, like, a whole lot of that was only 20 years before me, and they want to keep it in black and white.
Yeah.
Now, the main site, 1983, most of the land was auctioned off. There are huge bougie neighborhoods now at the base of the hill. Like, I'm talking McMansion, pre-planned, like 3 designs of houses, and, like, they alternate every...
It's like the modular designs where they just kind of move around the...
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gross. There's also a golf course.
I don't like golf courses. That might just be a personal thing, but I never like golf courses. There's better use for land. Now,
the main site and the 40 acres were purchased to convert into low-security prison for about $300 million. This was stopped by local protests.
Oh, so NIMBY types, yeah.
Well,
but to be fair, like,
if you just built a bougie neighborhood, do you want a 400-bed prison?
But also, does it need to be a prison? Like, it could be something else.
That's the other thing, is like, we really don't want this site to become a prison either. So they were stopped by the local protests. Then they then pivoted. The company pivoted and go, we'll make apartments. And then there were protests, and then they lacked the funds at that point anyway, so the building went back up for sale.
Okay, apartments would have made more sense. That's some real NIMBY shit right there.
Now, during this time, the site fell into disrepair, and in 1996, Robert Alberhasky bought the site with the intentions to build a 150-foot statue of Jesus Christ on the roof of the building, making it the biggest Jesus statue in the world. He only raised $3,000 of his $8 million goal, so no kaiju Jesus in Kentucky.
That would collapse the building.
I know.
That would collapse the building. Like,
and then he would have slid down the hill.
And destroyed all the modular homes. All the McMansions on the hill.
Now,
they could have just made it an apartment. Come on. Or a hotel, even.
Yeah, okay. Okay, it would have to be a boutique hotel.
Yeah. Well, sure.
It would be a definite experience, and it's not exactly near any super great amenities. Now, Charlie and Tina Mattingly in 2001 bought the site and began the restoration. The Waverly Hills Historical Society was formed shortly after, and they raised money through tours and an annual haunt attraction on the first floor so that they can try to update the building, restore the building, and get the whole facility into working order.
So the haunted house attraction bit was kind of a means to start restoring the building?
Yeah, they used the funds from that to try to restore. Now, let's talk about tuberculosis.
Okay.
The White Death, the White Plague, consumption. It's highly contagious. It is airborne. It is caused by an infection of the Mycobacterium tuberculosis bacteria, MTB. So I'm going to be doing MTB for the rest of the time, if I say it at all. It's a slow-moving but complex bacteria. It can survive in a dried state for weeks. So other bacteria reproduce very quickly. Tuberculosis reproduces slowly.
Right.
But because it reproduces slowly, it can survive a lot more. It's there.
It's hardier.
It's hardier. It's going to last. It is airborne from coughing and mucus of those infected. It can remain airborne for hours. So if someone coughed in a room with tuberculosis, 2-3 hours later, the tuberculosis could still be in the air and find a new host. It's a mean one.
Mr. Grinch. I don't know why I did that.
It generally affects the lungs, but can move to other body parts. Do not look up liver tuberculosis. I have that in bold letters. Chris, do not look up
liver tuberculosis.
Okay, have you ever seen a tuberculosis lung? All the nodules and the knots?
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets worse in the liver because the liver is softer, more...
fattier.
It's not fattier, it's just like your lungs are a bunch of tubes in a sack.
Right.
For lack of a better term. The liver is, like, raw liver is the consistency of dense jello. So, you can imagine what nodules start doing in a softer material.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's gross. Most of those affected by it show absolutely no symptoms and carry what is called latent tuberculosis. That's the reason why, like if you're a teacher, you have to get a TB test. And the bubble has to go away in a certain amount of time, because if it doesn't, that means you might have latent tuberculosis.
I had to get a TB test when I worked at the hospital.
Yeah, I mean, it's because it's such a contagious disease. And you can technically have it without
knowing it,
without any symptoms. Now, these type of infections can become active in those with weak immune systems, and it can activate if there is a major health issue that weakens the immune system, and this is when it becomes an active infection. This is when it becomes contagious. Symptoms include coughing, bloody mucus, fever, night sweats, and excessive weight loss, hence the name consumption.
Yeah.
In the 1800s, it is believed to have been responsible for a quarter of all deaths in Europe. It killed 450 Americans a day in the late 1800s.
It's considered, I think tuberculosis is considered one of the deadliest by numbers diseases in the world. Because, I mean, it's, despite the fact we live for now in a place that doesn't have tuberculosis as widespread as it used to be. I mean, it's still widespread everywhere. Not everyone has access to the antibiotics that treat it. I think, who is it? Not Hank. The Vlog brothers.
Yeah.
Hank Green, not Hank Green, but his brother, I forget his name, actually has a whole book on it, and he does a whole bunch of tuberculosis efficacy. That's cool. Now, to let you know how long tuberculosis has been around, we found it in mummies dating back to 4000 BC. I believe it. So it's a disease that has been with us forever. Now, 1689, Rick Morton first identified it, but it wasn't identified as a single disease until 1820. It was part of a group of diseases. Right. This is why the term tuberculosis appears in a bunch of different medical names for diseases. Like it's like a second or third word in there sometimes. Now, 1865, Jean-Antoine Villemin showed that it could be transmitted between humans and animals, which meant a lot of people were getting tuberculosis from sheep, which was then the cattle industry in the United States jumped on to argue why we should not have sheep in the United States, because cows did not give you tuberculosis, but sheep did. Dude, the cotton industry got hemp made illegal because it was related to marijuana when hemp blue jeans were out selling Levi's and... We're so this. Silly. We're just a bunch of silly gooses over here. Now, 1882, Robert Koch identified the bacillus that caused the disease. Yeah, I knew you would. K-O-C-H, Koch. Yeah. John Croghan tried to combat the disease between 1838 and 1845 by taking patients into Mammoth Cave and hoped that constant temperatures environment would help them. All of his patients died. Oh. Well, at that point, they thought that maybe if you kept them at a constant temperature, a constant environment, and once you get far enough in the Mammoth Caves, it stays the same temperature all year long. The problem is it's also cold, damp. Like the big thing I'm saying is just like he gave all of his patients hypothermia and they died.
Oh, they also died of their tuberculosis because putting people in a cave doesn't actually.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like par for the course when it comes to quote unquote treatments for tuberculosis up until the time we actually had a treatment for it.
Now, phototherapy was also used throughout the 1800s, which was the use of a strong light on the body, similar to heliotherapy being in the sun. Now, in the 40s, they made streptomycin, which then reduced the rates, and contraction can be prevented by the use of a vaccine today, which, this is where we get into some shit that's going to piss both of us off. The U.S. nearly eradicated the disease by the 1970s, but low case numbers led to cuts in funding and a spike of cases that led to a ton of deaths in the 80s that also got associated with people who had AIDS.
Oh, cool.
But who were the people getting AIDS in the 80s? The gay community, and therefore the government underneath Ronald Reagan did not care.
Yeah, no. Like, yeah, the Reagan administration, much like the current administration, doesn't really have anything nice to say about the LGBT community.
No.
So,
in 2023, there was a spike to about 9,000 cases, which sounds like a lot, but that's 2.9 people per 100,000. So, in a country as big as the United States, 9,000, oh my God. Like, if 9,000 cases popped up here in our town, oh, fuck. But that's a lot. But
that's a significant portion of the town.
But if you spread it across the entire country, it means that only 2.9 out of 100,000 got it. So, a very low percentage, but it was a spike compared to where we had been at almost zero.
Yeah.
TB has been on the rise since the beginning of 2025 due to the policies by the Department of Health and the general misinformation about vaccines being shared by the Secretary of Health. Especially cutting $500 million from vaccine research, a lot of which was for the production of the TB vaccine.
Cool. So, I love our current government. So cool.
Yeah, that pissed me off when I started looking at this, because I did actually go to some government sites for this, even though none of them are actually considered academic worthy sites anymore. So let's go over some old treatments before I get into the hauntings. Bloodletting.
Of course, yeah.
Leeches.
Yeah.
Rest in fresh air.
Yeah, we went over that one, yeah.
Heliotherapy and phototherapy.
When you say heliotherapy, I'm now just picturing perineum tanning. Like they just get the patients out just like with their gooch out.
Tan your gooch, get rid of the TB.
You want to get rid of consumption, you better spread eagle on the roof.
Cup it. Cup them up.
Cup them up. You gotta get the whole gooch.
Lobectomies, femectomies, thoroplasty, artificial and therapeutic, pneumothorax, and isolation to prevent contagion. So they treated them like lepers. Now I'm not going to explain any of them again because we've already talked about them, but they used a whole bunch of stuff that is not pseudoscience. Sometimes it's useful in other operations, but more or less they were throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing if anything stuck. Now,
well, I mean, until this discovery of germs and bacteria, there's not really.
Well, understand that we've only known about germs a little over 170 years.
Yeah, it's been a very
since the 1850s, 1860s. I'd have to go and double check.
But even then, wholesale adoption of germ theory, I don't think happened until the late 1800s, right?
Yeah, so I mean, if you think about it, a lot of stuff that we think's been around forever, because in America we think 100 years is
ages.
Right now, I'm it's the year of our Lord Optimus Prime, 2026. So you think about it, my grandparents would already be over 100.
Yeah,
if they were still alive. So it's weird the older you get, how much shorter time actually
feels.
Now, let's get into the hauntings, since we are a supernatural podcast and not just us talking about RPGs and then me going into depressing history.
And then getting mad at our current government.
So there are cold spots, orbs, mess up electronics, moving objects, touching shadow figures, noises, full body apparitions, people moving to rooms without knowing or remembering, kids' laughter on the roof and upper floors, spirits will grab your hand, and people complaining about chest pains and finding it hard to breathe.
Okay, so like usual gamut of things that
mostly, and like my thing is this is in Kentucky. It's on top of a hill. I don't give cold spots. Is like when I talk about City Park in a future episode and people talk about being in a field and getting a cold spot, I'm like, okay.
That seems a little bit more...
That's weird.
Or like if you're in New Orleans, you get a cold spot, it's like,
Especially if like you're outside in summer. So like I standard issue things that are haunting because this place has been... Everybody's been here.
Right.
Except us. Now, let me go over some of the named spirits, and there are... a bunch. There is the doctor. In the 4th floor operating room, multiple people have seen a doctor in a white coat walk around the room, even seemingly talking to them. Some people claim they heard stuff. Other people said they just saw it. And then he vanishes. So it might be stone tape. It could be intelligent, but...
It's just a doctor that talks a little bit and disappears.
Right. The chef. The kitchen often smells like fresh bread, but there are no working appliances in the old kitchen.
Well, that's a cool haunting.
I like, you know what? If there's a ghost that just wants to make my house smell lovely.
Yeah, you go into a house that smells like gumbo or spaghetti or bread.
That ghost is everybody's favorite ghost now, is just the one that cooks gumbo in your house.
You just smell that smell, or you smell like a really pleasant
you just feel impending dread more so than you normally do when you're trying to make a roux because the ghost is over your shoulder. People have also seen a man in a white hat that has been seen walking around. Staff have reported him a lot. One that I have out of order, on the 5th floor, there is a woman who is seen running down the hallway with slit wrists.
Oh, that's dark. But also that seems a little bit...
It's kind of campy. I only saw a couple people report that they had seen this. There's a lot more people that report hearing like a running scream.
Here's that I could understand. But like whenever someone's like, this ghost comes out with his throat slit and he's crying blood, it's like, okay, you're getting a little bit
over the top there.
Like I can understand like a ghost that's like a doctor or a chef, and like even if it's like stone tape, it still makes sense because there might have been a chef in there baking bread for a long time.
Now on the 1st floor there is the man and dog. When the building was abandoned, a man was walking his dog and decided, let me do a little urban Xing, and fell down the open elevator shaft.
Oh, cool.
So he and the dog have been seen on the 1st floor near the elevator. There's the creeper, seen crawling on the ceiling and the walls of the 4th floor, is a large shadow person, but does not seem to have actually been human. It is a very malevolent presence, and it has caused some people, very dramatically, to say, I'm thinking about killing you now, Aaron.
Wait.
I'm teasing. I don't think it was actually at this site that he did that, but no, it's the Bagel Bites claimed in the area where the creeper is to have felt a dark presence putting dark thoughts in his head.
Oh,
but a lot of people have images of a very like unnaturally tall humanish figure.
So it's like a Slender Man thing, and
kinda. But also, like, they've seen it crawling on the ceiling and the wall. And that, like, seeing, like, an unusually tall, creepy thing down a hallway doesn't freak me out as much as, like, if it's crawling on the ceiling Resident Evil style. I'm like, oh.
So it's like a licker in Resident Evil.
Nope. No. I'm out.
I've been playing the Resident Evil 4 remake recently. It's pretty good.
A lot of people have seen a doppelganger.
Okay, so it like clones like a.
Many people have stated seeing someone walking ahead of them on an investigation, and when they caught up to the person, they turned around and looked at them, and it was them looking at themselves. And most of the people that reported this also reported like feeling really sick and having to leave right after it. But it's not like a true doppelganger, because with the real doppelganger, if you see your doppelganger, you're going to die. Timmy, remember how you talked about the kid trying to catch a ball?
Yeah, that. Well, I know about this one because this is almost always the one
that everybody. Timmy O'Shea lived on site while both of his parents had stage 3 tuberculosis. He fell off the roof trying to catch a ball with other kids and died upon impact. You could just say died, but every website I went to on impact, I'm like, fell off of a 4th-story roof. Of course he.
It's like no. He just he walked it off. He walked it off.
He died 6 years later when he got hit by a train. It wasn't on impact. I'm like, the fuck. No.
Just adding more and more description. Died on impact after fluid filled his lungs and just keeps going.
He will move balls on the upper floor. If you roll one down the hallway, he will roll it back to you. People have taken levels. Like when I talked about the mortuary.
Right.
People have taken levels to show like, hey, it's not sloped back and we're not rolling it hard enough to like hit something and bounce back. We're rolling it
just a little bit.
He's also caused balls to start bouncing that were left in a room by themselves. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I walk up onto the 4th floor and all of a sudden there's just an empty room and a ball bouncing with nobody else up there. I'm going back downstairs. Investigation over. We have proof it's haunted.
It's like, that's enough for me.
Yep.
Bye.
There is room 502. Is the former nurse's station for the floor and one of the most active spots. In 1928, nurse Mary Hildenberg was found out she was pregnant. Now, the doctor who would not marry her, and to avoid shame of being a single mother with a child out of wedlock, she hung herself. Now, the other stories say she may have died getting an abortion by the doctor, because the doctor was already married, or depends on the story. Right. And then he hung her body to hide the death. Don't know which is true, but there is the report that nurse Hildenberg committed suicide. So
when it comes to the actual records,
yes,
she has been recorded as dying on premises.
Yes, 1932, a nurse fell out the window while smoking.
How does that happen?
The windows are big, dude, because all the windows were like the size of a door, so you could open them to allow as much air in as possible, and she was just leaning and smoking and slipped. Or that's the story. Now, there's also ones that said that she was leaning out the window to look and lost her balance. There's stories that someone pushed her. But the one I saw the most is that she was basically taking a smoke, slipped, and fell.
I mean, I guess, tragic,
I wonder if it was. I wonder if it's the same. Like, hi, Timmy. Hi, nurse.
Oh, how are you doing?
Now, the room has a lot of negative energy. People have felt this in waves. People have felt suicidal. People have felt nauseous. People have felt like they're being watched. There is an EVP of Get Out that was very, very clear cut by, I believe it was the Ghost Hunters. A lot of EVPs from this room. And then one of the most infamous spots is the 525-foot body chute.
Yeah. Like, anytime you hear about this place, it's all about the body chute.
There's a song about it. Like, there is a metal, like a local band did like a metal song about the body chute.
Did they film the music video in the body chute?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and double check. But remember, like, Bobby Mackey's, before they tore it down, how many songs were about Bobby Mackey's?
Did they tear down Bobby Mackey's?
You can go, like, the wall, the portal to hell is now surrounded by, like, a bunch of plywood.
Damn.
I'm just wondering if the devil got out. Or the devil's like, oh, shit, I can't jump. That's 8-foot tall plywood, boys.
Oh, dang.
It's Baltic birch. 3/4 inch thick.
Yeah, ain't getting out of that one.
Craftsmanship right here.
True craftsmanship.
Now, I don't want to fuck around with Bobby Mackey's too much. Like, I've heard people say it wasn't really haunted and it was all hype, but I've also seen way too much crap about that place to not feel like something
might have been there.
Something weird was up. Yeah, so now let's talk about media. Scariest Places on Earth in 2001, Season 2. Ghost Hunters, Season 2, Episode 14 in 2004, Season 3, Episode 18, 2007, Season 7, Episode 22, 2011, Season 13, Episode 9, 2020. They have gone back multiple times. Spooked, The Ghosts of Waverly Hills Sanitarium is a documentary that you can find on YouTube that was produced in 2006. Most Haunted, Season 11, Episode 4, 2008. Ghost Adventures, Season 4, Episode 4, 2010. BuzzFeed Unsolved, Season 2, Episode 4, 2017. Ghost Brothers, Season 2, Episode 8, 2022. One of my favorite investigations, because one of them, oh, fuck that, and left. Like, he went back downstairs. What happened? Someone touched me. It was near my groin. It was not my keys. I need a minute. I'll go back in. I need a minute. It wasn't that dramatic. He just said somebody grabbed him. I'm adding flavor to it because it was.
Yeah. You're just making it a lot worse than what it was.
Yes. And also so many other news shows,
YouTube shows.
So many people have done investigations there.
It's one of the most popular.
Well, I mean, it's also they get paid. Like when people come and do ghost adventure or ghost investigations. Now, I also went to TripAdvisor.
Oh, of course.
Came for the history and tour, chance to see a ghost. The building is beautiful. 5 stars. The tour guide was knowledgeable, but group sizes were too big. Ours had 50 people, 3 stars. What the hell? They didn't take us to the body shoot. Like, it was December, but come on, that's iconic, 1 star.
Aw.
Like, I mean, they couldn't go to it because literally insurance reasons. Great staff, and they care about the building, 5 stars. Didn't see a ghost, but the scare actor made me shit myself. 2 stars. Over-dramatized tourist trap, smelled like pee, 0 stars.
Well...
Don't do the 2-hour tour, too much talking, too few bathrooms, had to pee in a room, so the tour didn't get too far ahead of me. Well, now we might know why the other person said it smelled like pee. They gave it 1 star. Caught orbs and the tuberculosis. That's just a shit poster. They badmouth Zach Baggins, like why he's amazing and great for the group.
Like what? Wait, what?
The tour, what? They badmouth Zach Baggins, like why he is amazing. He's good for the group.
Oh, the tour guides.
The tour guide talked shit about Zach Baggins coming because
that's kind of a running theme I'm seeing with a lot.
Well, this was also like back when they had first come. It's not like more recently with some of the other stuff. Now that he's gotten really big.
Oh, okay.
Caught some weird guy in the picture and thought it was a ghost. It wasn't. My cousin kept moving when I was taking pictures and it came out super blurry. The tour guide was cool though.
I mean, I'm glad you gave us that information, man. Like,
I'm sorry, I just kind of like that their cousin was being a dick and messed up the photo. Got lost on the overnight tour and ended up slipping in the chute. Didn't see a ghost, but did see a doctor in the ER.
What? Oh, doctor in the... Okay, I see what they're saying.
Ex-boyfriend kept farting during the tour and made the tour guide gag. They left the tour and took another guide 15 minutes to show up, so we didn't get the full experience.
Well, that's on your ex right there.
Ghost grabbed my butt on the 3rd floor. Would go again, 5 stars. We lost a guy on our overnight tour and he got himself hospitalized, so it got cut short. They didn't refund us, 2 stars.
So the guy that fell into the body...
Like, I'm reading these and they're not next to each other, man. But I'm like, some of these connect too well.
You're getting a story now.
I'm getting everybody's story. Someone clogged the toilets at the haunt and it backed up into the attraction. They shut it down, no refund, 1 star. I saw a ghost. It saw me, called me a slur and vanished. Ghost be racist, 1 star.
What the fuck?
So I'm sorry. I love some of these because there's so many that's like every time I do it, there's always someone ghost touch my booty.
Yeah, or like the ghost clogged the fucking toilet or some shit.
So my sources. The WaverlyHillsSanatorium.com, TripAdvisor.com, PBS Storied, NPGallery.nps.gov, so the National Park Service, TheSpruce.com for architecture, phmc.state.pa.us for tuberculosis, KentuckyTourism.com, khigh.org, U.S. Ghost Adventures, the American Haunting Sink, Waverly Hills, the Mayo Clinic,
Oh.
That was a lot of reading for tuberculosis from the Mayo Clinic. Wikipedia for sources, globaltb.njmsrutgers.edu, Politico, pubmed.ncbi.gov, exhibits, hlvirginia.education, as well as 3 EBSCO host articles on TB.
Yeah, I could see see where all you went based on like your sources, just how
I wanted to include the tuberculosis stuff because again, one, it's on the rise. I mean, people might not think that we're up to about 15,000 confirmed cases. So it's almost doubled what it was. And if you space that out over the number of millions of Americans we got, that's a very low percentage, but it's an
increasing anti-vax sentiment.
As well as the vaccine is the best choice because TB has started to get better at fighting
it's a bacteria.
The antibiotic. It's evolved. It's changed. So I wanted to include that part because that's integral to the history, but also an actual legitimate health concern.
Right. But anyway, thank you for listening. We are Backwoods Obscura. We release every Tuesday. And we're also Team Bonus Action.
Team Bonus Action is a group of friends who like to play video games and TTRPGs together and sometimes just hang out online. And usually we are associated with charity. Right now we are unofficially associated with the Trevor Project. So if you donate, please do. Either go to teambonusaction.com and it should be somewhere underneath our links. Or in the next little while, I'll have it updated so that the donations go to a page for the Trevor Project. So get out there and try to help trans youth, make sure they're housed, because right now the world is definitely not being nice to them, and someone needs to be.
And with that, I hope you have a good day or night or whatever time it is over there.
Hey, Chris.
What?
I'll be your Huckleberry.
I'm trying to think of a line. Fuck. I can't do it. Oh, God.